So, I hear there's a new Nintendo Direct about to air. I'll give it a try. I don't think it's gonna be too exciting, seeing as I'm pretty sure Nintendo is slowly moving on to the next console, but maybe there's gonna be something fun.
5 minutes later.
Oh my god, Mario and Luigi! Okay, maybe I should take a chill pill before I proceed with this video. Alright. Hey everyone! I'm Albert Boris. So yeah, a few hours ago, it was that time of the year again, when we got a new Nintendo Direct. And honestly, this might just have been the greatest Nintendo Direct that I've ever watched. Or well, okay, there were probably a handful of even better Directs in the past, but at least since I started watching them like a few years ago, this one definitely blew my mind the most. I didn't think I could be more excited than with last year's June Direct, which had Mario RPG and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but well, here we are. They absolutely delivered. So today I'm gonna sit up until 2 AM and discuss this new Nintendo Direct with you all. My thoughts, my predictions, as well as what I'm most excited for. Mostly with a focus on the new Mario games, since that's obviously the franchise that I've stuck the closest with, but I'll give some thoughts on the other new announcements as well. I definitely want to try out as many of these games as possible, because truth be told, almost all of them look amazing. Except Just Dance, screw that. But yeah, with all that being said, let's get started with Mario and Luigi Brotherhood. Sorry, I mean Brothership. This was the first announcement of this year's June Direct. And honestly, the second I saw it, I knew I was in for a wild ride. Because first off, this means that Mario and Luigi has finally risen from the grave once more. The Mario and Luigi series is already one of my favorite Mario spin-off franchises, so on that note, this will already get me excited. It's arguably the best of the Mario RPG series, with all 5 games being incredibly unique and a ton of fun in their own right, even Paper Jam to a lesser extent. Sadly, the company behind these games, Alpha Dream, filed for bankruptcy in 2019 after their remake of their best-selling title, Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, flopped, becoming the worst-selling Mario game of all time. Ironic? But now, this series is finally back, likely under a new developer, and I could not be any more excited. My first instinct was that this was a remake of Partners in Time, due to the weird time portal thing appearing at the start. But no, it's a brand new adventure, with new locations, new sidekick, villains, everything. The gist I'm getting from this game is that it's basically gonna explore the, well, brothership between Mario and Luigi as they navigate through islands to get home after walking through this strange portal, and I'm all in for it. Mario RPGs have always been known for their slightly deeper stories, compared to regular Mario games, and this is definitely one of the plots that I think could be the most heartwarming for me. I'm already loving what they're going for, with all the remote islands in the ocean, an incredibly beautiful soundtrack so far, so my hopes are high. And that's not to mention the new art style, like, my goodness, they perfectly replicated the art styles seen on previous Mario & Luigi cover arts, except this time in a 3D environment, and while it definitely caught me off guard at first, it did not disappoint me. It actually feels kind of weird that the art style is now finally accurate, seeing as previous titles used 2D sprites for characters, but both takes are amazing. And it's already coming in November this year. Yeah, you can bet that I'm probably gonna do quite a few videos on it. But that was about as amazing as it would get for a while. Yeah, we can't all have kingly announcements. There's always gonna be some less exciting news to break up the pace, and well, there was a bit of that as well. Obviously, there's Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. This wasn't too surprising as it was already revealed a month back, but it doesn't seem too bad either. Being able to play retro NES games again, with a twist of speedrunning and multiplayer challenges, definitely seems fun in its own right, and could add a new flair to otherwise archaic and short titles. Less exciting was Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Look, I'm sorry, but this did not spark my interest at all. I love the Donkey Kong Country franchise. In fact, I'd say that it's probably better than 2D Mario overall. As great as games such as Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. Wonder are, the Donkey Kong games always stood out more in difficulty and level design. Or well, besides Donkey Kong Country Returns, which was a bit more generic in its themes. Was it still a fun game though? Sure. Does it deserve a port? Sure as well, nothing wrong with having it available on more systems. But is it gonna be worth the $60 though? No. Because, let's face it, this one's gonna sell for full price just like any other Switch game. I'm not even sure it should be called a remaster, because graphically it looks just about the same as it did on Wii, with the rather, sharp trees. Yeah, honestly this just seems like a budget title to fill out the Switch roster while we're waiting for the next console, because the fact that it chose January of all times to release it doesn't give me much faith either. Likewise, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is another title I couldn't really care less for. To be honest, it's kind of weird that they still haven't released it since it was announced almost a year ago now, but hey, we only have 1 week left now. I'm happy for everyone who's never got to play the original version, but I'm not particularly excited for it, especially since it's probably my least favorite Luigi's Mansion game as well, due to the mission structure. I played it once on my brother's 3DS and then never touched it again, and this doesn't seem like it will be particularly different anyways. They should have given us a Luigi's Mansion 1 remaster instead. But on another hand though, the new Zelda game definitely looks kind of interesting. It was leaked beforehand that Nintendo was working on a new title for this franchise, and while I, sadly, can't really say too much considering I've never played a Zelda game before, it looks like a pretty unique spin on the franchise, having Zelda be the playable character instead of Link this time. Well, about time that the title character actually gets to be the one you control this time, I suppose. Metroid Prime 4 though was definitely one of the most anticipated games for most people, and I can completely understand why this took everyone by storm. Do you have any idea when this game was first unveiled? 1 year ago? 2 years ago? No, 7 years ago. It took us 7 years to finally get more news on this game. We got a tiny teaser for it back in the 2017 June Direct, but since then, we hadn't heard anything else, until now. I may not be the biggest Metroid person, although I absolutely love the genre it spawned, but I can definitely feel for everyone who finally got to be satisfied. To be honest, the biggest question I have regarding it is whether or not it's gonna be for the Switch, or perhaps Nintendo's next home console. I know they said back in May that this Direct would focus on Switch games releasing in 2024, but they already kind of lied there, because this one got a tentative 2025 release, so who knows? I believe it's probably gonna be a cross-generation title, and possibly a launch title for Nintendo's next system, similarly to how Breath of the Wild got both a Wii U and Switch release. Oh yeah, and there was also Among Us, which actually kind of leaked this Nintendo Direct beforehand. That's kind of cool, but enough about that now. Let's now talk about what was for me my most anticipated announcement, as well as the most concerning in some ways. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Let's go! We finally have another Mario Party game to look forward to. If you've been on my channel for a while, you're probably aware of just how much I truly adore the Mario Party series. Nowadays, I'm mostly known as the Booty Course Pass guy who predicted DS Mario Circuit, but before that, I was almost strictly focused on Mario Party, following the announcement of Mario Party Superstars 3 years ago. Wait, has it really been that long already? So naturally, this announcement blew my mind. I was already half expecting it, because ND Cube has always released a new mainline Mario Party game every 3 years, and well, it's been so long now, but I didn't expect it to be this big. This looks amazing! Where should I even start? In a nutshell, it seems like it's gonna take the best aspects of both Super Mario Party as well as Mario Party Superstars and combine them into possibly the most ambitious entry in the series. It's already got a cool premise, with Mario and his friends going to this huge tropical resort, but just about everything else also has me screaming out of joy. First off, the character roster? Amazing. Finally, they let Toad and Toadette be playable, after being unfairly tossed aside in the previous 2 games. And we also have most of the unique characters from Super Mario Party selection. Even Birdo and Spike joined the fun, and Birdo is my favorite regular Mario character of all time, so of course I'm gonna be approving of this. And even Ninja? Now that's a welcome surprise. Or well, why is Bowser here again? He's supposed to be the big bad guy in the board play, responsible for all the bad events. Having him be playable and instead relegating the much less threatening Kamek to bad events kinda leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Never mind that Kamek would be better off as a playable instead, but I suppose it's not the biggest deal in the world. But the boards, oh my goodness, these look all amazing, and there's 7 of them. 5 new ones as well as 2 retro ones. Let's talk about the old ones first. First is Mario's Rainbow Castle from Mario Party 1. Very, very deserving choice, even if it's probably my least anticipated map. It's one of my favorite boards from the first Mario Party game, and while it's simple, it's a fun static star board where you have to take the longer or shorter path, depending on who's waiting at the end of it. And I also love the new elevation changes made to it. Mostly, I'm excited for the new remix though, because that song was always so beautiful. In Western Land from Mario Party 2, even better. We only got a single screenshot of it, but it looks absolutely stunning. Once again, Mario Party 3 got the short end of the stick though. We really should have gotten a map from that game as well, maybe Chili Waters or something. But you know what, it's not that big of a deal, because the new boards, they look all even better. First off, Mario Kart in my Mario Party game, bring me on. Roll'em Raceway is probably one of the most bizarre ideas I've ever seen implemented into a Mario Party board, pitting all the players in race cars, and I'm super excited to see how it turns out. It seems like it's gonna be a breakaway from the traditional board format, instead of being a race to the finish line, with items that can make you advance as much as 40 spaces. Surprisingly, it's not the first time something like this has been done for Mario Party though. Mario Party Island Tour had a similar map in the form of a rocket road, which was also a race to the finish, with crazy dice roll potential. But this one definitely looks a bit more developed, with even some split paths. But it does seem like a bit of a risky idea as well, which is why I have slightly higher expectations on the other maps. It's probably going to be on the weaker side of my board ranking, since I feel that a map like this would undoubtedly end up kind of short. But my hopes are high that they'll pull it off anyways. As for the other maps, King Bowser's Keep looks fine. It seems like a pretty typical volcano map with some mineshaft elements, so nothing too crazy, but I'm sure it will be fine. Wait, Bowser is here? Even though he's also playable? Well, that's interesting. Maybe he just won't be playable on this board. I wouldn't mind that. At least it would make the bad events have more stakes. But all in all, at least we have a final Bowser board this time, something which was strangely missing in the past two Mario parties. Mega Wiggler's Tree Party is another map we didn't really see too much information on, but from the one screenshot we did get, it looks really dope. I love the forest themes, and this board in particular looks like such a charming little park in the woods. You can even walk on a Wiggler, and that has me excited for possible events we could see. Oh man, and then there's Goomba Lagoon and Rainbow Galleria. Definitely the most interesting maps we've seen so far. Goomba Lagoon seems intricate enough, having a bit of a beach, pirate, and volcano theme, and the gimmick that some paths will be blocked off when the tide rises definitely has a lot of potential. And then there's Rainbow Galleria, probably my most hyped map overall. An entire mall, filled with escalators, fountains, elevators, and whatnot. Guys, I think we found the Coconut Mall of the Mario Party series. It looks absolutely immaculate, with so much attention to detail, and even enormous elevation changes. I can already tell that it's gonna be a fan favorite when this game comes out. Probably mine as well, even if the whole discount on stars gimmick, as fitting as it is, does have me slightly worried for the economy on this board. 10 coins for a star is just never really a good idea. But whatever, we'll find out. But there was more than just boards announced as well. Apparently, there's also going to be a new Coupathlon mode, where you have to collect coins and minigames in order to advance spaces on another race to the finish type of map. And I know that this will be amazing, because it's directly based off of Coinathlon in Mario Party Star Rush, which had the exact same premise. And this time, there's even online it seems. Honestly, there's so much to talk about, and that wasn't even the only new side mode. Soundstage from Super Mario Party seems to return in some capacity, and there's even brand new games I've never seen before. It's safe to say that this game is shaping up to be absolutely amazing, especially since there's even over 110 minigames, all controlled with Joy-Cons? No, no, no! Seriously, Nintendo? Okay, I genuinely hope that they won't pull another Super Mario Party with this one, where it's only playable through this garbage. Both of my Joy-Cons are already drifting, and I also lost the right one, which is, you know, the more important one because it has the home button. Am I supposed to buy an additional pair just to play my most anticipated game of the year? I really hope that you'll be able to turn off minigames that require the usage of it, because the Pro Controller is just so much more comfortable and trustworthy to use. I'll just have to hope for the best. But yeah, otherwise, it doesn't seem like this game will be bringing back any retro minigames like Mario Party Superstars did. Or well, maybe there will be some of them, because that's a lot of minigames. Either way, I have a ton of faith in ND Cube, although please change the name of the game. Seriously, Super Mario Party Jamboree is just way too mouthful and convoluted. For goodness sake, just call it Mario Party Jamboree. How hard would that be? But otherwise, I think it's safe to say that this game had me crying from joy. And to think it's releasing so soon in October already is amazing in its own right. Hopefully, the wait shall be worth it. But yeah, overall, I think that's all I wanted to say for this video. I went over my two most anticipated games, as well as a few other announcements I thought were noteworthy. There were probably a few games I forgot, but I don't want this video to get too long, so I'll just leave it at this. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this discussion video. Definitely my favorite Nintendo Direct in recent times. But what did you think of this Direct? What were your favorite announcements? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And like, share and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Follow me on Discord, Twitter and Patreon, and I'll see you all soon. Until next time.